for being here today for this exciting event. My name is Matt LeBrake. I'm the Senior Director for Online Library and Technology Services here at Berkeley College. This event is brought to you by the Online Book Club, which is a collaborative effort between the library and student development and campus life. Each term we choose a new book and have a virtual discussion. In addition, we try to host events like this one to supplement our discussions. So this semester we read Birthing the Elephant, The Woman's Go For It Guide to Overcoming the Big Challenges of Launching a Business. It's a practical guide for the first-time entrepreneur detailing the life cycle of a small business launch with real-life stories and a slew of helpful hints and strategies. So virtual discussions have already started on our Goodreads site and will continue through the end of March. So if anybody here is interested in getting involved, there's also books available in our campus libraries. Just stop by, talk to your librarian. So along with our live audience here in Woodland Park, we also have screenings happening at all of our Berkeley College campuses, and also online students can tune in from wherever they are in the world. So when we get to the question and answer portion of today's event, we're going to be taking questions from all participants. If you're live here in the room, just raise your hand, and our authors will call on you. And if you are tuning in virtually, just ask your question through chat, and we'll do our best to relay them to the authors. So it's now my pleasure to introduce Chrissy Andrasic, our Director of Student Development and Campus Life from the online campus, who's going to formally introduce today's authors.
Thank you, Matt. Welcome, everybody. Thanks for being here today. It is my pleasure to introduce our co-authors of Birthing the Elephant to you today. We have Karen Abarbanel and Bruce Freeman. Karen Abarbanel is an entrepreneur, a marketing communications consultant, and an expert on women's careers and lifestyle trends. She is the author of How to Succeed on Your Own and 3 other how-to guides. Her corporate background includes over 12 years with Baz Allen Hamilton, a global consulting firm. Karen received her MA from Columbia University and her BA from Middlebury College, and currently lives with her husband and son in Montclair, New Jersey. Bruce Freeman is nationally known as the Small Business Professor. He was the syndicated small business columnist for the Tribune Service. As an entrepreneur, he is the president of Proline Communications marketing and PR firm, and he is also an adjunct professor at Seton Hall University. Bruce was the Journalist of the Year for the Small Business Administration in 2006 and served as small business spokesperson for Brother International. He previously was department chair and director of corporate services right here at Berkeley College many years ago, and he currently is a motivational speaker and helps people through their entrepreneurship journey. Bruce has his MA in Public Administration from Long Island University and his BA from Binghamton University. He lives with his wife and 2 daughters in Livingston, New Jersey. Please join me in welcoming our guests to be with us here today.
Thank you.
So without further ado, welcome.
Okay. You know, Chrissy, you said I live with my wife and my 2 daughters. They're gone. They got older and they moved out. One's in Tacoma, Washington, and the other one's on an assignment in Paris right now. But let me start off and let me add to what Chrissy said, because in that entrepreneurship introduction, there's a very personal side that isn't directly involved in my credentials, but it's a matter of the journey of entrepreneurship. I was here at Berkeley for about 4 years in the 80s, and I moved on to PC Magazine for about 4 years. And what happened was, I was there, new captain came to town, I was not one of his lieutenants, and so I lost my job. I decided at that point that I was not going to let a single person determine my financial fate. I had 2 daughters. Well, I only had 1 daughter at the time, but now I have 2 daughters, and I had to get them through college. I am what the Wall Street Journal called an entrepreneur by necessity. When the bills come in, you've got to find a way to pay them. So that's how I became an entrepreneur. Since that, as Chrissy mentioned, I became a columnist, I became an author, and I represented companies. It was all part of what I was doing as an entrepreneur. One of the problems entrepreneurs have, and I'm good at this, is I have 20 ideas a minute, and I usually follow up on one or two. That's what we call entrepreneuritis. Let me move on a little bit. Karen and I met along the line. I'll tell the story later, but we got together and we wrote Birthing the Elephant. So it's interesting, why is a guy writing a book about women entrepreneurs? Well, I'll tell you, okay? I have a wife, two daughters, a female cat, and we had a bird named Harry. We found out Harry was really Harriet. The second reason is when I was doing the small business professor column, I was finding that a lot of the people we were writing about were women. And in fact, Karen will deal with this later. There were many more women becoming entrepreneurs than men. And finally, when I met Karen, she was working on a book about women entrepreneurs. I was working on something else with McGraw-Hill. My deal fell through. I met Karen through a news editor at Reuters, and quite honestly, I seized the opportunity to work with her, and she seized the opportunity to work with me. So with that, Karen, I'm going to hand over the mic to you and let you add a little bit.
Fine. Great. Can you hear me? Yeah. Okay, good. My startup story is a little bit different from Bruce's. As Chrissy said, I was working for a global consulting firm, very high-powered company. I was a senior marketing executive, so I climbed up the ladder. But I was working long hours. I was commuting back and forth between, Manhattan and Montclair, where I live. And at the time, I decided to make a move. My son was about 1 or so, had a little boy, Alex, and I decided I will never see this cute little guy if I stay in this job, because I was traveling, a lot was happening, long hours commuting. So I decided to take the leap and make the shift from employee to entrepreneur and start a home-based marketing business, essentially doing what I was doing for my company, but for smaller companies or even larger companies. So over time, I built this business, this solo business. My friend used to say, Karen, you're the only person who can work with PricewaterhouseCoopers in your flip-flops, you're just here. I was doing my business at home, but it was a rocky road getting there, because when I started, I had no idea how hard it was going to be to make the transition from employee to entrepreneur. Because when you do that, you're not just changing jobs or careers, you're really shifting your identity. You need to have a different mindset. Bruce is going to talk about this. You need to think like an entrepreneur. And this was very hard for me to learn, but I did. And one of the reasons I wanted to write Birthing the Elephant with Bruce was because I wanted to help other women avoid some of the mistakes I made in my startup, because I probably made every one you could possibly make along the way. And so Bruce, why don't you tell everyone a little bit about, why Birthing the Elephant is different?
Excellent. When we talk about small business, we usually talk about the 3 M's: money, marketing, and management. Our book actually focuses on a 4th M, motivation. I guess it's more of a psychology book. There are many books out there that talk about business plans, and having a good business plan is important, but our book deals with the stories, the emotion, the motivation, the M word. That's what we focus on, and you'll find some interesting stories. Karen and I were talking about, whether we should talk about some of our own stories in addition to the women entrepreneur in the book, and it's really hard to separate it, because we were both emotionally involved with our own business. So we're going to throw in a few personal stories today, in addition to the entrepreneurial stories we talk about in the book. How did we come up with the book title, Birthing the Elephant? Let me tell you how. It's an interesting story. It takes an elephant 22 months to give birth to a baby elephant, okay? My wife is very talented. She did it in 9. As a matter of fact, we have 2 kids. She did the 2 in 18 months, right? A talented lady. It takes a business approximately 2 years to get going. So we made the analogy, and that's how we came up with Birthing the Elephant. So, Karen, maybe you could tell our friends at Berkeley about what the book offers.
Sure. Well, what the book really is, as Bruce said, is it's not necessarily dealing with how to get a bank loan, financing, marketing, though we do talk about all of those in the book, but it's really an emotional roadmap to the launch cycle. It takes you step by step over about 22 months through a startup from that first day that you decide to make your the decision to launch to 2 years or so when you're kind of up and running and kind of firmly established. And we interviewed 25 women entrepreneurs for the book all over the country. They were, different ages, different businesses, different backgrounds. We interviewed a lot of experts, people in marketing and finance. And what we did was we really packed the book. These were frontline entrepreneurs. They had launched their businesses, they were successful, and we wanted them to share the ups and downs of their startup, not when they were up and running, but how they got started. And so we packed the book, Birthing the Elephant is packed with, all kinds of very practical tips and strategies for success. Now, in the time that we have here, we can only give you a little glimpse of what we found. So in order to give you the most helpful information, Bruce and I are going to be talking today about 5 success strategies, 5 things you want to do for a smart startup, and then we're going to talk about 5 pitfalls, things you want to avoid. Mistakes you can make that can sort of derail your business and create a lot of problems for you. So Bruce, you're going to start with the first strategies.
Terrific, but I thought we only had 3 pitfalls, so
Oh, right.
No,
Great.
we would want them to get more success stories.
Yeah, more success stories than pitfalls.
And less
that's right.
pitfalls. So the first strategy is very difficult to explain. It's thinking like an entrepreneur. What does that mean? Well, there are a couple of elements to that. At the beginning, you're trying to get things perfect. You don't want to get things perfect. You want to get things done. One of our experts in the book is Dr. Nan Langowitz, and she's the head of the department at Babson College. And I was putting packages together for her people because I may do a speaking gig there in the fall. And I'm scribbling on the address on the envelopes. And my wife is saying to me, "You can't send it like that." I said, "Well, if I take the time to make it perfect, it's not going to get there, and I may have a meeting." So sometimes you just want to get it out there. So there's a couple of people in our book, Susan Currow and Susan Edelman, and they started a little store in Montclair, New Jersey. And what they did was they were selling Life is Good T-shirts. They actually rented space, and then they started the business. Is that smart? I don't know, but that's what they did. How many of the ladies in the room have heard of Liz Lang maternity wear? Okay, Liz Lang maternity wear. It's interesting because do you know how much I know about maternity wear? 0, but it doesn't matter because this is a lady who had friends who were getting married, getting pregnant. She developed an idea, and she started a business before the idea could percolate. Smart? I don't know. She was actually a psychology major in school and started her first job in publishing. But she went with the idea and she went for it. It's some of the entrepreneurs in our book, you churn your stomach as you're doing. And a quick story, when I lost my job at PC Magazine, I went out to lunch with one of my colleagues in New York, and he said to me, I'm telling him about all my ideas. He said, Bruce, I love your ideas, but let me be honest with you, you don't have any goals or objectives. I said, with all due respect, you're wrong. My goal is to pay the mortgage, and my objective is to put 3 square meals on the table. So I may not get a job here at Berkeley in the Career Services Department with that philosophy, but there is a reality to life as well. Liz Lang is now a very successful brand and owner of a huge business. One of the other things is thinking big and starting small. There's a lady in our book who I love, Lisa Druxman. She started a business called Stroller Strides. She was a fitness instructor, worked in a spa, and she came up with a novel idea. How many of you watch Shark Tank? Isn't that a great show? Okay. Lisa Druxman had an idea. When her first child was born, she wanted to get rid of the baby fat. So what she did was she walked along with the stroller with the baby in it, and then developed a program where women would walk with their babies in the stroller and developed a class. She put out some flyers, right? She put out some flyers. She had 4 women in the first class, and today she has what, Karen?
I was just saying, I was amazed. Think about this. She put these flyers, around on lampposts around her neighborhood. She had 4 people come to the first class. Today she has 300 franchises all across the country, and there are 1,500 stroller stride locations. I mean, women all over are expecting babies. After they have their babies, I mean, she's expanded it into a huge business. But it started with 4 women. So that's like thinking, big, but starting small.
So let me go on to success strategy number 2. And Karen and I in the book call it substituting brains for bucks. What does that mean? Well, at the beginning, you don't have any money, okay? At the beginning, I relied on a few dollars in our savings account and got a business line of credit, okay? That's how I got started. Lisa Druxman, who we just talked about, actually traded workout sessions for legal advice. She got a lawyer to work for her, and that's what she did. Becky Rohr, one of the entrepreneurs in our book, converted a house in Westerfield, Ohio, into what became a very successful inn. She didn't have money for personnel. You know what she did? Her mom became the chef, and her father became the landscaper. That's the way you start, family and friends, okay? The other entrepreneur, Brenda Newberry, had an IT consulting business. She didn't have money to rent an office. She used the local Denny's to handle her appointments. And then there was Crystal Johnson, CN at Home. Crystal did her own website and did her own social media. The other success strategy is making marketing a number 1 priority. Ronnie Fliss, who's in our book, started a company. She lost a major IT job. She was in her 50s. Ronnie's had this basset hound named Murray. She started a business called Fat Murray's Doggy Treats. She got her advice from a community college and then from a professor at FDU. But Murray became her salesman. So instead of a man or a woman in a dressy blue suit, Murray the Basset Hound would go with her on sales call, and all the customers would be petting Murray. Murray became her chief salesman. It was a phenomenal story. Liz Lang did something very clever in marketing. What Liz would do is she would send her outfits to celebrities. And model Cindy Crawford used it, was on TV, and every time one of her outfits was on someone else on TV, she got a free plug. I could go on, but we have a time limitation here, Karen. So I'm going to throw the
Right. I
the
just want to mention
Sure.
one more marketing idea. Lisa Druxman, who we talked about, who had stroller strides. Again, she was just starting, didn't have much money, but she had this business idea she wanted to develop. And she said, you know, at the time, in the interview that I did with her, she said, at the time, like $400 for an ad, a little print ad in a newspaper, a local paper, she said, that was like spending $1 million to me. We just didn't have the money. But she was a marketing whiz. She would constantly come up with clever, newsworthy ideas, and this is a good tip to keep in mind, ideas that were newsworthy that would attract media attention. So she got a lot of print and a lot of TV for free. No $400 was being spent. She got it for free. And one of the best stories in the book was she had all these moms, and you know, they're all there and they're doing their exercises with the babies. Well, Father's Day was coming around. So she got the idea, brilliant idea. Okay, I'm going to create a stroller strides class for the dads. They're all going to come with the babies, and they're going to. And this was a crazy thing, but it was so funny and so clever that she called someone who was in a local TV station. They thought that's so cute that they came and they actually videoed or, you know, took a film of all the dads with the babies and the stroller strides doing the exercises. So she got fantastic local exposure, which is what she needed to build the business, and she didn't pay a dime. So there are, you know, so many examples of how you can, you know, have marketing savvy, again, and substitute brains for bucks when you're marketing. Now, I'm going to talk about, Bruce has given you 3 success strategies, and I'm going to talk about the 4th one. And the 4th success strategy is what we call building a support system for success. To launch your startup, you're going to need help. Whatever business you're going to be in, whether you're selling a product or service, you're going to need help, and you're going to need lots of it. You have to find people to encourage and advise you. It's without that kind of support, your business is kind of going to die on the vine. It's not going to grow. So how do you build a support system for success? Basically, there are a couple of answers to that, but the first one is the simplest. You start where you are. You make a list of everyone. Let's say you're thinking of starting a business. You make a list of everyone you know. Friends, family, college buddies, professors, high school teachers that you might have had, anyone you can think of. You just start making a list, a contact list. And you'd be surprised, you know, once you start doing that, you'd be surprised how big your personal network is. Most people can think of, if they really sit down and set their mind to it, of almost 200 people. That's what the average is. So that's a lot of people who might be able to help you. And then your job is to network. And what is networking? Networking is really asking. So you want to ask for what you need. You want to tell everybody about your business that you're starting. You want to share your excitement with them. You want to ask them to help you, to come on board, to be part of your success story. So you can ask them for advice. You can ask them for leads. You know, you could ask them for media contacts, like a local TV person, someone in a newspaper that you know, possible clients, customers, even good suppliers to help
Karen,
you
can I
create your product.
can I just throw something in? You know, the world has changed, and relationships or networking is not only physical relationships, it's obviously online relationships. And I make a suggestion to my students is keep a list. You have a Facebook list. You know how many friends you have on Facebook, correct? Okay? Keep that list. Post once in a while. Keep a list of all the people you know, but keep the list. Keep somewhere in your database. So as you go along, you folks are young. As you go along, you never know when you're going to need these people, but you have to keep it organized. The best time to start it is now.
That's
Thanks, Karen.
absolutely right. Sure. And another way to build a support system, whether you're doing it through social media or personal contact, is to find a mentor, someone who can guide you, someone who's already in business or someone who's got expertise that you need. That's a great way to start building a support system. Now, when Ronnie Fliss started Fat Murray's Doggy Treats, she asked a business professor that she knew for help. And this woman gave her smart advice that she could really use that helped her avoid some mistakes. She would invite her to events. She'd say, Ronnie, come along with me. I'll introduce you to some people. And she even shared her personal contact list, which made Ronnie's list even bigger. So right here, think about it, right here at Berkeley, you have professors right here who could do the same thing for you, but you have to ask. So that's what networking is. It's really asking.
I want to throw something in here because I tell my students all the time, if you want to sit in your class and sit in the back and ignore the professor and have the professor ignore you, fine, you're paying a lot of money in tuition and it's not just about academics. I have a class right now of 34 people. I meet them once a week. How many names do you think I remember? You know who I remember? I remember the people who participate, the people who come after class and talk to me, the people in the front couple of rows. Get to know your professor. Your professor probably not only professes, there's such a term, your professor probably has served as a consultant to companies. Your professor has probably written articles and maybe published books. Get to know the professor, because when it's time to get a letter of recommendation to whatever your next step is, you want to make sure that that professor knows something about you and can write something about you other than you got a B plus and you were breathing in class, right? Okay,
Right.
Karen?
So the fifth success strategy that we want to talk about, be sure that you have on tap if you launch, is you really need to learn to bounce back when you hit roadblocks. Resilience, bounce back ability, we call it, is huge in starting a business. Because we all know, we all face problems. Everyone here probably has a problem right now. We all have ups and downs, and we hit potholes on the road of life. And it's the same thing when you start a business, only they kind of come at you even faster. So we can guarantee that if you launch, you're going to have some kind of challenges that you're going to have to meet. And you're going to have to make tough decisions. You're going to have, you're going to run out of money. You're going to have a customer who bails on you that you thought loved you. They're just going to, one day they're there, one day they're not. You're going to have, the market's going to slow down. So you're going to have all kinds of problems. And how you deal with those setbacks is really key when you're launching a business. When you have a startup, you can't really afford, I mean, we all do this, something bad happens, we have a big pity party, we talk to all our friends, we get all worried and angsty, and we spend a lot of time in that sort of negative mode. When you're an entrepreneur, you can't afford to do that. You need to meet problems head on, and you need to deal with them quickly. You can't waste time being negative. Successful launchers, it's so interesting. They are so optimistic and so resilient. That's one of their qualities. They don't get upset and angry, or maybe they do for a little bit, but then they, quickly dump that approach, and they get busy finding solutions. They get energized by problems instead of getting upset by them. And when they have a challenge that they have to face, they don't retreat. They don't pull back, fold their tent, they push forward. They reach out and they get help. They start coming up with fresh ideas. They get feedback on a mistake they might have made that's gotten them into trouble. They fine-tune and they fix what's wrong and they push forward. Again, we're talking about some of our stories. I once had a client who didn't want to pay me for what my work was worth. And this is not an unusual problem in marketing when you freelance. And I was really upset. I was very worried. I felt this isn't fair, but I needed to do something, and quickly. I needed that cash, it was a cash flow issue for me, and I didn't want to lose the client, I thought, I've got to figure out a way quickly to deal with this situation. So what I did was I called a friend, and I said, I need your help, Rich. He was in a different industry, but he was very good with problem clients. He took me to lunch. We sat down. I cried. I told him what was going on. And he said, this is what you need to do. And he said X, Y, and Z. And he helped me write an email. And I sent it. And we we basically resolved it. I got the money that was due me, but I didn't lose my client. But I had to deal with the problem quickly. So that's really important. So when you hit a roadblock, as an entrepreneur, or even in life, we're all dealing with issues. I have a friend who says, don't get frustrated, get fascinated. If you get frustrated, it's going to be negative, you're going to retreat, you're going to contract, you're not going to have creative ideas about how to deal with the problem. If you get fascinated, you start brainstorming, you start thinking of new solutions, and before you know it, you've come up with something. So that's our fifth success strategy. So we've given you 5. It's the first one was act like an entrepreneur, substitute brains for bucks, make marketing a priority, build a support system for success, and learn to bounce back when you hit a roadblock. Now we're going to look at a couple of pitfalls. We're going to look at 3 pitfalls that you really want to avoid, the things you don't want to do. So Bruce, why don't you start?
The first one we call overspending anxiety. Actually, overspending due to image anxiety. I'm going to talk about 2 personal examples. Early in my getting started mode of the business, I thought that people look at how successful you are. And having a nice, flashy car would be a great idea, right? So early on, I leased an Infiniti. Nice car, right? Okay. You know what the biggest problem was? I get the first bill, and 2 weeks before the first bill, you know what happened? I lost my biggest client. Okay? I would have been better off with a Chevy on a lease than an Infiniti, because when you try to do the image thing, thinking other people will be impressed by your success, you can lose a lot of money. You've got to watch the bucks at the beginning. The other thing that happened to me, and I had to learn a lesson, when I left, let me move up a little bit. When I left a PC Magazine, I was in charge of the testing lab, and everybody knew me in the industry because every vendor wanted to be friends with the testing lab at PC Magazine, okay, because it meant a lot. You wanted to get product reviews. So I was known to a lot of people. But when I started my business, I called it Proline Communications. And I had a client later on say to me, Bruce, why did you call it Proline Communications? Why didn't you just call it Bruce Freeman PR Associates? Everybody knew your name. My name was a brand. Proline Communications was my ego talking that I'm starting out with a big corporation called Proline Communications, but nobody knew the name. So I went out and I bought the fancy business cards, I bought the fancy stationery, I bought some computer equipment, and I spent money on what I didn't have to spend because I was letting the image take over. Watch what you spend in the beginning. Karen, you want to
Sure.
talk about the next
The last
pitfall?
couple. The next pitfall, pitfall number 2 that we want to warn you against is, the best way to put it is it's romanticizing being in business. A lot of people have kind of pie in the sky ideas about running their own business, what it'll be like. And I know I did, because as I said, I really didn't know what I was doing when I first started. I thought, I'll be my own boss, I can make my own hours, I'll be able to play with my son, I can work with anyone I want. If there are clients I don't like, I don't have to work with them. It didn't turn out that way, believe me. As Brenda Newberry, one of the people Bruce mentioned in the book, Brenda Newberry ran a high-tech company. She was the one, she would meet all her clients and people she was going to hire at a local Denny's restaurant near her house. That was her sort of satellite office. And she ran a high-tech firm. But she said in her interview, when I started my business, I didn't run the show. I didn't have just one boss myself. I had a lot of bosses because I had clients. I had suppliers. Later, I had employees. I was accountable to all of these people. It's like you don't have one boss when you start, especially if you're in a service business. So that's really one of the things that we sort of romanticize, like how great it's going to be your own boss. And I think also one of the things is you think, well, I'll have sort of more time. I won't have to work for this job. Most entrepreneurs work really long hours. There's a joke, there's one definition of an entrepreneur that I love, and it says, an entrepreneur is someone who will work 16 hours a day to avoid working 8 hours for someone else. And I mean, that's a pretty good definition, because you're going to be putting in a lot of time when you start your business. It takes hard work and a lot of it. So if you're thinking of launching, that's great. But know what you're getting into. Read books like Birthing the Elephant. Talk to people. Have a realistic idea of what the benefits are, there are many, but also what the downside could be. And because if you have too rosy a picture, if you're really up in the air, it's all unicorns and rainbows, you're not, when you do hit a roadblock, and you will, it's going to be very hard for you to regroup. You're going to be disappointed, you're going to feel you made a mistake, and you're going to lose your passion. So very important to don't over-romanticize
Hey,
your
Karen,
business.
they're going to run out of food, so I think we might want to start wrapping up
Oh,
pretty
yeah,
soon.
yeah, okay, great, okay. The third pitfall, we'll just give you one more, is underpricing. And how you price your product or service is really, really important, because you need to make a profit or you're not going to be in business for very long. And when it comes to pricing, this is just a word to the young women out here, women have a especially tough time doing that. They tend to undervalue their skills and their experience. So you really need to talk to mentors, go to the SBA, get advice on, how you can price your product or service in a way that allows you to stay in business and grow. So that's it. Bruce, you want to wrap it up?
So I'm going to wrap it up. Every good presentation needs to give its audience a few takeaways. So let me give you a couple of takeaways. First of all, most of the entrepreneurs, all the entrepreneurs, they build a business like they build a house. It's one brick at a time. That's the way I did it, and that's the way Karen did it. Another important concept is knowing what you don't know is as important or even more important than what you do know. You have to seek advice from professors and all the people that you work with. Karen mentioned that earlier. There's something that I alluded to before in my comments, relationship equity. Build those relationships online, offline, or between the lines. You've got to have people working. I'm back at Berkeley, speaking to you because I worked here in the 80s. I came back as an adjunct in the 90s, and I've always kept that relationship for 30 years. As a matter of fact, I started at Berkeley when I married my wife. I started and I had to ask the Berkeley administrators if I could take time just to go on my honeymoon, work for a week or two, go on my honeymoon, and come back. So basically, I'm married as long to Berkeley as I am to my wife. I have 2 wives, okay? How do I put this? There's a certain way, we all have stuff that happens to us in life, like this, and you really only have one choice, you know what you do? You pick yourself up, you dust yourself off, and you keep on going. And with that, Karen and I would like to thank you for being such a gracious audience. Matt, we're going to go to Q&A now, right?
Yes,
So,
please.
anybody have a question or a comment? Or I'm going to add something to that formula, Matt. If there's anyone in the present audience here or our online friends, if you were thinking of a business that you wanted to do, if you'd like to add that in and ask Karen and I about it, we'll be happy to take comments on that as well. Yes, sir.
What is it that you do now? Well, like, what was your entrepreneurship? Like, what like specific things were you doing to
Okay.
make money?
I was involved in public relations after I left PC Magazine. I had all the contacts in the field, and I knew a lot of journalists. So a lot of for instance, several of the journalists at PC Magazine, they would move to the New York Times, to the Wall Street Journal. They would move to Computer World. They would move to all the other publications. My value became my relationship with editors at different magazines, radio stations, publishers, and so on. And so what I did was I developed a business around doing public relations for software companies and hardware companies and representing them to the press. I had some good clients. I had ViewSonic as a client, okay? And that's what I did. So my relationships with editors was my business. And I did that for many years. When I unfortunately got the MS, I also taught. And now I'm doing motivational speaking because you may lose a job, but you never lose your skills or your talents. You can always transfer those. I hope I answered your question. Yes, ma'am. Would you just state your name?
Hi, my name is Magnolia Davis, and I'm actually a management major, business management major. My question is, do you think it's okay for you to use multiple credit card companies to establish a line of credit for yourself, even while using the perks? So, for example, if you have Bank of America allowing you to get like frequent flying miles for your business with a credit line, and another bank giving you a credit line like with rentals or percentages back, do you think it's good to start your business, use that way of getting credit as far as starting your business?
That is certainly one avenue of money, because when you're launching, what you really need is, cash flow's key. But interestingly, we talk about this in the book, and I believe it still holds true. Most entrepreneurs in their startup modes, they raise their money from friends and family. I'm just going to give you one quick example. There was a husband and wife team, the Scribners. Patricia Scribner was in finance, hated it, they lived in Hoboken, decided she wanted to start a little craft store, knitting. What she did, she and her husband, Adam was a teacher, what they did was they put together a business proposal, very professional, and they brought it to their family and their friends. This was before GoFundMe or Kickstarter. This was earlier than that. But they took it to their family, and each side of the family kicked in some money. And they said, this is what, it's going to cost us, $30,000 to launch. We will give you a modest amount of interest, and we will make our best effort to pay you back over such and such a time. But, you need to be careful. The credit card thing, we all know, is very, very tricky. A line of credit is a lifeline often, but there are other sources like family and friends where you don't have the same kind of pressure. So I would say look at that.
I think we have an online question from Midtown.
Yes. Midtown is asking, there is a student in Manhattan who's considering starting a business, which is a drag strip where students or people will race their cars, but he's trying to offer a way for them to do this legally and safely. And he wanted to know if you had any advice.
The first thing I would do on any advice, like, and I'm not familiar with that area, is I would consult with an attorney before you make any moves. That could be, getting good advice is probably the best advice. Karen, you want to?
Yeah, I think that's what Bruce said is probably the best piece of advice we could give you. I think what you also want to do is, competitors are a huge issue when you're launching a business. So, you want to be sure that this business, the location, any business like that, it's going to be important what where the location is, and you're going to want to be sure that somehow there aren't going to be a lot of competitors who are going to immediately take your idea and seize it, and then, you'll be one of 5 instead of one of 1. So do your research about the competitive market.
Hello, my name is Johannes. I'm an IT management major. Over, say, in the distant future, I hope to get into urban agriculture. But say when you're just in the beginning phases, you're going to be dealing with a lot of people. And is there a recurring, say, hiccup or speed bump that you would face with people, or is it just depending on where you go or who you talk to? As in, like, which form, how best should you approach a customer or a client? Like, do you have a specific, advice, say?
You're talking about the sale, making the sales.
Correct.
Yeah, I think there's 3 parts to the formula. There's marketing, there's public relations, and there's sales.
Right. The relations
You
part.
have to project a positive image. You're going to be doing a lot of cold calling in the beginning. You need to make whatever contacts you can. Karen mentioned about networking opportunities. There's probably no secret to it. You just got to keep at it.
Right.
You try A works for a while, and then it doesn't work, you try B. Karen, you want to jump in?
Yeah, I think one of the keys to networking, as Bruce said, you really want to maintain whatever, look at your contact list. Probably a good thing would be to just sit down, make that first contact list of your personal network. And then I think it's very powerful when you go to that network and you sort of enlist them in your idea,
Right.
And you never know, I will say, I have found this over and over in my business, you never know who will know someone who's the perfect person that you need to know,
Correct.
the brother of the sister of, your aunt or whatever.
Right.
So that's one reason why you talk to a lot of people and let them know what you're doing. But one of the keys when you do network, it is really important if someone does give you a lead. I will just say there's kind of a courteous way to deal with these leads that can really help you keep them coming. And that is you thank the person for the lead, you follow up on the lead, then you go back to the person who gave you the lead, you let them know, I've contacted them, maybe you say, could I use your name, that would really help get in the door, but you always let the person who helped you know how things go. Sometimes it doesn't go anywhere,
Right.
Sometimes it's great, you get help, but either way, you let them know.
So your
And-
human relations is paramount.
Yes.
Well, I think what Karen is saying is follow-up is
Is
key.
key, yeah.
Even if you don't get the sale, you may
Right.
get the next one.
Yeah,
And you don't know
wanna
what happens
keep
further
that.
down the line anyway.
Right,
Right.
and you want to keep that person sort of in your court. But people don't, it's happened to me. Someone's asked me for help. I've put myself out. I've given them and then I never hear. What happened? And I'm not going to go out and go to them. It's really important for you to come back and say, I really appreciated that. She told me about Sally, and I'm going to see Sally, or it didn't work out, but I'm going to keep going, and thank you. I'll keep you posted on my progress. And that's another thing. As you move forward and things happen that are good, keep your network, social media is great. If you get a little article, send it through social media. You get people on board with you, and then they have a little investment in your business and your success. And you would be surprised, again, even people who are very successful. Interestingly, people who are very successful that you think would be so high, I couldn't go and ask them for help, they love to help other people because it reminds them of when they got started. And they are often much more accessible than we all think.
Right.
So don't hesitate to reach out.
Right.
Be polite, follow up, get back to them, but reach out.
Thank you both.
I think we have an online question from the Paramus campus, correct?
Yes, from Paramus, we have a student who wants to start a business involving massage chairs combined with virtual reality. What type of networking tips do you have for them?
I think networking is universal. I think whatever the product or service is, you want to tap into all the people you've ever known in your life. You want to make sure that you're in school, you are talking to professors. You want to make sure that everywhere you go, I walk around with a business card, okay? And any of you who like my business card, please come up to me afterwards, okay? I walk around with a business card because I never know who I'm going to meet. I'm doing motivational speaking now. I never know. How many of you belong to a church or a synagogue? Raise your hand. How many of you belong to a student organization? How many of you belong to any other type of organization? Right? You are all potentially my customers for a speaking engagement, aren't you? Okay? Always have a card with you. You're always networking. I don't care what the business is. Let's tell our friend at Paramus, it's all about networking, contact, and what I called before relationship equity. Karen?
Yeah, and I think one of the things to think about is I'm thinking, boy, massage chair, virtual reality, that's kind of cool. Stress today, big issue, right? We all need to relax. I think you want to tie it, one way to go is to really tie this business to the health benefits that are involved. And, maybe that's a truly unique idea, I don't know. But, you need to do research on that. But if it is, maybe you go to a healthcare magazine, you go to a local hospital that's near where you are, you talk with them, you maybe give a demonstration, and they put a little squib about you in the hospital newsletter, and suddenly, free publicity. So it's all about being kind of creative when it comes to building your business.
More questions? Another online question from Paramus.
Student in Paramus is asking, what is your personal take on owning a franchise business?
A franchise business. I didn't, and Karen didn't. I'm not an expert on franchising, but there are a few people I know who did. The problem with the franchise is it's almost like having an employer because they call the shots, and you have to do it their way. The good news is that whatever franchise you're using, they've already put money into branding their name. So you have a name behind you already, but it seems to me that they call the shots. And I know people who've done it, the contracts are very tight in terms of what you can do and what you can't do.
And I think this is a situation where research and talking to people is key. Because, the best thing to do probably is to go out and talk to 10 people who are franchisors and get their take on what's the upside, what's the downside, how long did it take you to get into a profit-making mode? Do you get a lot of support from the head office? Do they do a lot of marketing branding for you so you don't have to spend money on that? You look at Stroller Strides again. She now has 300 franchises and locations, 1,500 locations. So that was, at one time, her company was one of the fastest growing franchises. So you would have a lot of people potentially you could talk to. but you really need to do your homework on that one because, you can get burned.
Are there any more questions here? Do we have anything online?
Karen, as a female business owner, have you ever felt disadvantaged as a woman?
Oh, that's a great question. I felt more disadvantaged just because I didn't sort of know what the heck I was doing than because being a woman. Because, the business I was in was marketing. There were very specific things you needed to do that, and but and you just did them, and you were very professional. I found that the biggest issue for me was you had to be hugely professional. And probably as a woman, maybe there was a little more pressure to, just show up and really be very efficient. But I just gained a reputation. I did work in a field where often people did not come through. It's very deadline oriented. I would work on annual reports when they were in print. Now they're online. I've done some online ones. I would work on websites. People needed to get these things up and running, and they depended on me to meet their deadlines. So I gained a reputation as someone who could do that. And the fact, I could have been, a little Martian sitting in my little office doing it. It really didn't matter that I was a woman. I think the biggest issue, I will say, again, I'll go back to the issue of pricing, because that is important. I dealt with this myself. I struggled. I was a solopreneur doing things on a project basis, and I struggled with how to price my services so I could, make a profit, but not overprice them, because you don't want to do that. And I think that is a big issue for women. It's true. There's a lot of research, this is interesting, that shows that if you have a project, let's say a business project, and you go to a man and you negotiate for it, sort of, you take him into a room and you kind of do your negotiating, and then you take the same project, exactly same deadline, everything, and you go to a woman and she negotiates the price, 9 out of 10 times the man's price will be higher than the woman's. We just somehow, we're caretakers, we want to be helpful, we just undervalue our time and experience. So I would say, as a female entrepreneur, that I think is one of the biggest issues, because then what happens is people start taking advantage of you, which has happened to me from time to time. Not often, but once in a while. So I would say, as a woman entrepreneur, your biggest challenge is, to set a fair price for your product or service, know what the market will bear, and go out there and stick to your guns. Do not let yourself be negotiated out of what you deserve.
Yes.
Yeah. Don't you always want to start off at a higher price, like selling? Because I sell, so I know like, you always want to start off at a higher price, because when they negotiate with you, they're always going to try to get a lower price. So if you start off at a fair price, you don't want to get down stuck at a lower price than what you want.
Right. So you want to start off a little higher. It makes sense.
Could you repeat that one, please, for everybody?
Oh, sure.
Oh, sure. Gentleman wants to know, when you negotiate, shouldn't you be starting off at a higher price? Is that correct?
Yeah.
The answer is yes, because you can always negotiate down a little bit, but you can't negotiate the other way.
Yeah, but you see, that's very interesting, because that's sort of a male take on negotiating. Sometimes women, they fall into the trap, well, I'll give them a low price, and then they'll give me the work, and I'll make up for the money I lose on this work when they give me more work, but you get yourself into a hole. So that's very interesting. Right here, we have an example of a guy would say, I'll set the price higher. A woman might say, gee, I'll go for the low price because maybe they'll give me the work or I'll get more work. So very interesting. Women, be tough on the pricing.
And I think also that we all do that, man or woman, at the beginning of a business. You don't want to lose the potential of a client. So you figure if you go a little lower, sometimes it can work as a negative image. Right.
Yeah, I mean, it works both ways,
More questions?
After starting your own business, how long did it take until you started to feel comfortable as a business owner and confident in your decisions?
Well, in my case, I was let go in the month of February. I got my first retainer client in September, a monthly client. So we were able to pay the mortgage for another month. But when my wife got the heating bill, I said, you can't pay that until we get another client. That's what happens at the beginning. I would say for me, a year and a half till I felt comfortable that the business was going well. Karen?
I think that's right. I think in the book, actually, we couldn't really talk about it, but we sort of take you through 4 stages of a startup. You know, the first stage is starting your startup, what it's like for the first 100 days, and then we take you through. And that cycle takes about 22 months, 24 months for most entrepreneurs, you know, based on the research that we did. So I would say it kind of takes you about, you know, the first, 6 months, you're not sure, you're just talking to people, getting yourself started, then you're just starting to go out, get clients, then you're losing clients, getting more clients. So I would say it would take about probably 2 years or so until you feel, I really know what I'm doing. I've sort of made every mistake and I'm still here. I've got a good network that I'm building. People are giving me work. When I left Booz Allen, I not only, my consulting firm, I not only got work, they became a client of mine when I was freelancing, but there was a woman who used to do graphic design for me. She was my employee at Booz Allen. I used to work with her and I hired her. When I left my business, the tables turned around and she would come to me and say, Karen, you have these wonderful writing and communication skills. I'm going out and pitching to clients. Why don't you come on board and be part of my team? So I got work from someone who used to work for me. And that's sort of like what networking can do for you.
Anybody here? Last question.
Who is the most influential person you interviewed when writing this book, and why?
I think it would be maybe different than both of us. This is an interesting story. It's about parlaying, okay? And Berkeley brought me a lot of good luck because we just found out we're getting a reprint of this book, partially because you ordered a lot. There's a woman expert in our book. Her name is Nan Langowitz. She's professor and department chair of entrepreneurship and management at Babson College. Babson is considered the premier entrepreneurship program in the education field. I actually spoke to Nan twice in the last month. She moved me on to a couple of people, and hopefully I'm going to be speaking there in the fall. That would be a big feather in our cap, having that kind of name behind us. She was influential. There's another lady in the book. Am I allowed 2? Amy, am I allowed 2 influential people? Okay. There's a woman in the book that we didn't mention that's near and dear to my heart. Her name is Kearns. She came up with a product called Style Stick. Like me, she has MS. She was diagnosed at age 35 or 36. I wasn't diagnosed till my mid-50s. Kathy, I developed a personal relationship with her. You know how people walk with a cane and makes you look old? She developed a product called Style Stick. She made colorful canes, red, white, and blue canes. I don't know how she's doing, but I guess there was a relationship for me. So I would say it would be Nan Langowitz and Kathy Kearns. Karen, who was it for you?
I would say, we had wonderful, wonderful interviews in the book. I have to say that people were amazing. And the great thing about women, I'll just say, you could ask a woman in an interview, well, what were the smartest things, you did when you were starting the business? And they tell you and be all excited. And then you could say, well, what was the dumbest thing? What was the absolute worst mistake? And women, like they say, tell your readers, don't do this, don't hire your sister. It's a bad idea. Whatever it was. I don't know. Guys are not always that forthcoming, I think, about sort of the emotional aspects. So we had great interviews. But I would say, actually, Bobby Brown did our foreword. And here is an interesting story, how you network. Bobby Brown, she now, I think, lives in the city, of course. She's huge. She started with one lipstick, and she talked about that. And she now has, she's a global brand all over the country. Her company was bought by Estee Lauder. She made a gazillion bucks, but she started with one lipstick. And she was a makeup artist, nothing fancy, a makeup artist. But the thing about her is she lived in Montclair. She lived at sort of the end of the street where I am. I'm on this end. She had the big house on the end, But she's very supportive. I knew through people I had talked to that she's very supportive of people who are starting up. So I went to her and I said, I met her, I don't know, in the deli shop or something. And I said, Bobby, I'm writing this book and, you have such a great startup story, would you talk about it with me? And she said, sure. So I ended up, this is how busy she is. I didn't walk down the street to her house. She was in her car going somewhere, and I did the interview by phone because that's the only way I could catch her. But what was so interesting to me and so inspiring was, again, she started with one lipstick. She didn't know anything about marketing. She was a makeup artist. But she had this lipstick, and she had this idea that lipstick should look more natural. It should be, easier to use. She would mix her own lipsticks for her clients when she did shoots. And she got this one lipstick, and she was just very excited. No business background, none. She just was very excited. She went to a party, and she's there with her husband, and, they're talking. And she's so excited, she's telling everybody about this lipstick that she has, everybody. And it turns out, this is networking, right? There was a woman at that party who was the marketer at Bergdorf Goodman, that big, fancy store in New York. And she said, this sounds like a great product. I'll give you a table in the lobby, and you could sell your lipsticks. So Bobby's like all excited, and she goes and she takes her lipstick. She said, Karen, I thought I was going to sell 100 lipsticks in a month. That would have been huge for me. She said, I sold 100 lipstick in a day. Her husband was studying to be a lawyer. He would bring shopping bags of lipsticks to the back door of Bergdorf's, and she would, replenish her supply. But what she said was, I knew nothing about business or marketing, but when I was sharing my passion for what I was doing, I guess that was marketing. And I just found that so inspiring that I guess I'd say she was one of my favorites. There are many. Yeah. Okay, great.
Thank you so much.
Oh, you're welcome.
Thank you, everybody, for attending. Thank you to our virtual audience. Once again, the book is Birthing the Elephant. There's copies available from your library.